Hello Light Warriors, I'm Sensei Bill and welcome to our Level 1 class on concentration. Becoming a Light Warrior, or what we call a metahuman, does require mastering skills of mind, body, spirit, and energy. And in this class we're going to cover techniques that are going to help you to focus your thoughts and control your mind. Okay, so what can a mind do? Well, a mind can think, it can learn, it can create, store memories, process sensory and extrasensory input, feel emotions, and a lot more, of course. But really, when you boil it all down, a mind can really only do two things. It can concentrate and it can relax. Now, if you've played team sports or were in the military or martial arts, you probably heard one of your coaches or your teachers screaming at you at one point or another that your brain is the biggest muscle in your body, so start using it. And it is interesting to note that brains and muscles are similar in that they really both can only do two things. They can concentrate and they can relax. That's it. A brain concentrates its energy on thoughts, or it can relax, or muscles concentrate their energy into a contraction, or they relax. So if I flex my arm like this, my bicep muscle contracts. And when I extend my arm, my bicep muscle relaxes and my tricep muscle contracts. So really, all movement of your body is nothing more than a continuous stream of contractions and relaxations of the muscles in your body. Now, the more you work your muscles, the stronger they become, and the more skills you practice, the more coordinated your body becomes, and the more things that you can do with it. Well, your brain is the same way. It's the big muscle, remember? And I think you can see where I'm going with this, that the more you can teach your brain to concentrate and relax, and the more skills you practice with your brain, the more coordinated it becomes and the more things that you can do with it. Okay, so by learning to relax, let's say in something like meditation, you learn to quiet the monkey chatter or those thousands of distracting thoughts that are running through your mind and keep you from what you're doing. And really the purpose of this is to shut down your mind so that you can go within and you can hear the universe guiding you, you can communicate with spirit and receive different types of psychic information. On the other hand, by learning to concentrate, you once again shut down the monkey chatter or those endless distracting thoughts. And then you can focus 100% of your attention on whatever it is that you're doing. And you know, the more focused you are on something, the better you're going to be at it. Okay, so let's go on to another train of thought now. You've probably heard the statement by now that everything is energy. And what that means is that every molecule that makes up everything in the universe is made up of these charged particles that are called protons and neutrons and electrons, and they're all spinning around an energetic center called a nucleus. Well, when scientists have broken those particles down and looked inside, they found even smaller subatomic particles, and they're called quarks and muons and gluons and taus, and there's a whole bunch of them, but their pure energy is well. So that means that everything in the universe is made up of energy. It's just all vibrating at different frequencies. Now your brain is made up of these same energetic molecules. And your brain cells themselves, and you've got trillions of these, are firing electrochemical signals back and forth across your brain at thousands of times per second. So what I want you to consider is that your thoughts are energy. And if that's true, then focused thought is focused energy, and diluted thought is diffused energy. So if you imagine for a moment that your thought energy is similar to light. When you're thinking a dozen different thoughts every minute, and let's say maybe you're working or you're doing something creative or you might be planning your day, you're using what's called diffused energy. And that's good. Diffused energy, when you use diffused light energy, it lights up a room, it helps plants grow, it helps you to do things like see and read, and that's great. And really, the good news is you've already mastered the skills of diffused energy. Now, on the other side, when you focus light into a single point, or into a beam, it becomes a laser. And that's a very powerful tool that can do things like cut through steel, perform precise surgeries, transmit huge amounts of data at very high speeds. So if you can learn to focus your thoughts or your attention onto a single thing, it becomes like a laser or a very powerful tool that can help you to access the amazing skills of mind, body, spirit, and energy that are already programmed into your DNA. Now, if you cannot concentrate, you're never going to be able to manifest the skills that you desire. And then conversely, it is the concentrated focus of your mind energy that is the way to psychic skills, telepathy, telekinesis, remote viewing, advanced martial arts skills, and more. Lastly, combining your focused mind energy with your chi energy and learning to move it both internally and externally is the path to superhuman abilities. And that opens the door to amazing health, wellness, and longevity. Okay, what you need to do now is to go get yourself 3 objects to concentrate on. And the exercises are designed around using a rock, a leaf, and a flower. A rock, a leaf, and a flower. Make sure they're not too big and they fit easily into your hand, and you can hold them easily. If you don't have access or you can't get one of these things, that's fine. You can substitute almost any object. Just again, make sure that it fits easily in your hand and it's not too heavy, because it's easier to concentrate on smaller objects in the beginning than it is larger or heavier objects. Okay, so what I want you to do now is put the video on pause, go get yourself a rock, a leaf, or a flower, or a substitute object to concentrate on, and then when you come back, start the video up again, and we'll get going on the exercises. Hello Light Warriors, welcome back. Now that you've got your objects to concentrate on, let's get going on the first exercise. Okay, the goal of this exercise is to concentrate on your rock for a full 5 minutes. Now I know it's going to seem like an eternity, but just keep going at it. It's going to get easier. Now we're going to have a timer in the video, and then I'm going to come back at the end of 5 minutes and tell you when to stop. So just keep concentrating on your rock till then. Now the way that you concentrate on it is I want you to hold your rock between your fingers, and I want you to start by looking at all sides of your rock. The top, the bottom, the front, the back, the left, the right. Take in all aspects of your rock and look at the shape of your rock. And I really want you to kind of commit to memory everything that you see. Look at its colorations, look at its color variations, look and see if there's any crystallizations in the rock. Take in its surface texture, its rise and its fall. Is it shiny or is it smooth? Is it rough or is it dull? Is your rock warm or is it cool? Really take in and commit to memory all aspects of your rock. Now you should do this with no internal or external distractions. An internal distraction is like, when you get stray thoughts in your head, or you just kind of completely stop concentrating on your rock and you're thinking about something else but you're still looking at it, right? So when that happens, just go ahead, forgive yourself, thank your thoughts for coming into your mind for whatever reason, and let them go and go back to concentrating on your rock. Now, an external distraction would be something like getting a phone call or somebody knocking on your door. If that happens, just go ahead and take care of it. Come on back, rewind the video, and get started again. Okay, so go ahead and get your rock and get ready to get started. Wait for the timer to come up on the video, and then I'm going to come back in 5 minutes and tell you to stop, and then we're going to very quickly get started on the next exercise. Okay, welcome back from the concentration portion of the exercise, and now we're going to move on to the visualization portion of the exercise, where you're going to actually see your rock in your mind's eye and recall all aspects of it for a full 5 minutes. So what I want you to do is kind of sit back and relax, and then you're going to close your eyes, and then I want you to see your rock in your mind's eye and project from your memory into your mind's eye everything that you remember about your rock. Project all sides of it and all aspects of it. Its color variations, whether it had any crystallizations, recall its surface texture. Was it bright or dull? Was it rough or was it smooth? And really project into your mind's eye what you can recall and everything you remember about your rock. And I really want you to make it as real as possible. So if you can see it or project it out in 3D space in front of you, that would be great. Now, like before, if you have any distractions, just go ahead and let your thoughts go, gently thank them and release them, and go back to concentrating. All right, so sit back, relax, close your eyes, wait for the timer to start, and then I'll be back in 5 minutes to tell you to stop, and then we're going to move on to the next exercise. Okay, we'll see you when you get back. Hello Light Warriors, I hope your rock visualization exercise went well. And if you have any problems or questions, you're more than welcome to give us a call or send an email to info@lightwarrioracademy.com and we'll get back to you as soon as we can. Alright, so now let's go on to the next exercise, which is concentrating on your leaf. So go ahead and get your leaf and then bring it up in your fingers here. And like before, I want you to concentrate on your leaf for a full 5 minutes. And when you do that, what I want you to do is really look at the very small details of your leaf. I mean, obviously take in its shape and its colorations or various colorations if it has different colors in it. But by holding your leaf up to the light, you're going to see little veins in your leaf. Now, some may be straight, some may be squiggly. I know most leaves have some major veins and some minor veins. So what I want you to do is to count the major veins in your leaf. If you can see them, count the little minor veins and really take in the small detail. I mean, obviously you're going to get the shape and the color and kind of the general design of your leaf and what it looks like. But now I want you to look deep into the leaf and really take in the very, very smallest, minute details that you can see on both sides of your leaf. If you can look at the edge, if your leaf has an edge, go ahead and take that in too. But if it's really flat like this one, just look at the front and the back, turn it over and over, and take in all aspects of the leaf that you can, focusing on the minute detail. Again, if you get an internal distraction, just gently thank your thoughts and go back to concentrating. If you get an external distraction, take care of it and come back when you're ready. Okay, so get ready to get started, and we'll see you when you get back. Hello Light Warriors, welcome back. I hope your concentration exercise went well on your leaf. And now we're going to move on to the visualization exercise using your leaf. Now again, like before with the rock, what I want you to do is sit back, relax, and close your eyes and see your leaf in your mind's eye. Now where this is going to be a little more difficult than your rock is now you're going to have to really zoom in your mind on the detail, the small minute detail of the leaf. I know it's going to be easy for you to kind of see the shape of your leaf and project the various color or colorizations of your leaf, but now I want you to go deep into your leaf and I want you to really see those small veins, the large veins, and all the various minute detail of your leaf. And we're going to do this for a full 5 minutes, okay? So like before, just sit back, relax, take a deep breath, close your eyes, wait for the video timer to get started, and then I'll be back in 5 minutes to tell you to stop, and then we're going to move on to the next exercise. Okay? We'll see you when you're done. Hello Light Warriors, welcome back. I hope your leaf visualization exercise went well. Again, if you have any problems or questions, just give us a call or send us an email and we'll help you out. Okay, so now let's move on to the next two exercises, which are going to be the concentration and visualization of a flower. So go ahead and grab your flower. And like the rock and the leaf, you're going to concentrate on your flower for a full 5 minutes. And I really want you to take in the complex detail of your flower, which is going to be far more difficult than it was for either the leaf or the rock. Those are very, fairly simple shapes, and although they do have small, minute detail, your flower is infinitely more complex. If you study things like the Fibonacci numbers or the geometry on which a flower is built, it is infinitely more complex than your leaf or your rock. So when you're concentrating on your flower, I want you to look at the stem. If it has thorns, take in the size, the shape, and the colorizations of the thorns. Count the number of thorns. Kind of remember where they are on the stem. Take in the leaves on your flower, where they're located, what they look like, the small little detail on your leaf. And then as you move up to the flower itself, really look at the number of petals, the very, very soft, minute detail on the petals. Count the petals themselves. Really take in all sides of the flower. If your flower has a fragrance, make sure to smell it and take that in too. Really, really smell the fragrance. Take that fragrance in and really feel it and remember it, okay? Because you're going to need that when you go move on to the visualization exercise. Okay, so get your flower, get ready to get started, and get going when you see the timer, and then I'll be back in 5 minutes and we'll move on to the visualization portion of the exercise. Okay, we'll see you when you get back. Welcome back. I hope concentration on your flower went well. And now let's move on to the visualization portion of this exercise. Okay, so like before, you're just going to sit back and relax, and you're going to close your eyes. And I really want you to see your flower in your mind's eye. Now this time I'd like you to project it out in front of you and actually really see it floating and rotating in 3D space. See the stem, if it had thorns, put the thorns on it. Really see the leaves and zoom into the minute detail on the leaves. See the flower itself, turn it over, look at the top and the sides. Really project the detail, the small soft detail of the petals of the flower in 3D space. If your flower had a fragrance, I want you to take in and smell the fragrance. Really try as hard as you can to make the flower as realistic as you can in your mind, almost as if you could reach out there and touch it. Okay, so just sit back, relax, and get ready to get started. Wait for the timer, and then I'll be back in 5 minutes and let you know when to stop. Hello Light Warriors, welcome back. I hope your flower visualization exercise went well. And like before, if you have any problems or questions or you have any interesting experiences you want to relate, just go ahead and give us a call or send us an email. All right, so what I want you to do now, if you're ready to move on, is put the video on pause, and I want you to go get some water, go to the bathroom, clear your head a little bit, get something to eat if necessary, and then when you come back, we're going to move on to concentrating on and visualizing the same objects again, but now we're going to do it for a full 10 minutes each. Okay, so go ahead and put the video on pause, clear your head a little bit, get yourself ready to come on back, and we'll see you when you're ready. Hello Light Warriors, welcome back. Now we're going to move on to a little bit more advanced set of exercises where you're going to concentrate on and visualize the same objects that you did before, but now you're going to do it for a total of 10 minutes as opposed to 5. Well, I realize that while you're doing these exercises, it's going to seem like an eternity. It really is the first step in developing advanced psychic abilities, telepathy, telekinesis, advanced martial arts skills, and a whole lot more. You know, to do these things, you've got to learn to control your mind. And it's the big muscle, remember? So you got to take it out and do some workout and get it more coordinated. And to do this, you have to learn to hold your focus and your concentration on a single object or a single thought for an extended period of time without distracting thoughts or the monkey chatter getting in the way. Now, I also realize that you may have already memorized a lot of the detail on your objects, and the first object we're going to start here with is your rock. So what I want you to do in the upcoming exercise is to look more deeply at your objects and see if maybe there's some detail that you didn't pick up on before. And I also want you to move beyond the physical senses of sight and touch this time and see if you can sense the energy or the life force within your objects. See if you can look within the object and sense its density and see how tightly or feel how tightly the molecules are packed. And then I also want you to see or perhaps visualize the molecules or the little balls of energy themselves and how they're all packed together to make up your object. Okay, and so go ahead and grab your rock and then sit back and relax and wait for the timer to start, and then I'll be back with you in 10 minutes to end the exercise. Hello Light Warriors, welcome back. Now we're going to move on to the next exercise, which is the visualization of your rock for 10 minutes. Now this may be the most difficult exercise that you have done so far, and I'll tell you from experience of both myself and the students that I've taught directly that with most people, somewhere about the middle of the exercise, your mind or your subconscious mind starts throwing up some serious objections and really sending you a lot of distracting thoughts. It's going to tell you that this is dumb, you don't need to be doing this right now, we've got something else more important to do, I've got to check my email, I've got to make a phone call, I got to send a text, I got to do anything but sit here and visualize this rock. Now, what this is really is your subconscious mind somewhat objecting to what it feels as change or what it feels as maybe a loss of control. So the way to battle this is to gently thank those thoughts and let them go, or perhaps have a conversation with your subconscious mind, literally talk to it as if you were talking to another person and tell it, listen, it's still going to be in control. This really is for the greater development of the conscious, the subconsciousness, the mind, the body, the whole unit all working together, and ask it to please take a back seat and allow this process to continue. And when we've done that, we've found that many times the subconscious mind really does take a back seat and allow the process to continue, and a lot of the distracting thoughts or monkey chatter really does go away. If you find that this gets really bad, it's probably a good idea to have this little conversation with your subconsciousness and then take a break, go get some water, go to the bathroom, come on back and start the exercise again and try and make it through the full 10 minutes. Again, if you can't make it through a full 10 minutes, just take a break, come back, start the video again, start the exercise again, and just keep practicing until you can make it all the way through. Okay, so just sit back, relax, close your eyes. When you start the exercise, remember you want to see your rock kind of projected out in front of you in 3D space. Try to recall as many of the details as you can. And remember this time, when you were concentrating on your rock, what we wanted you to do was kind of sense some of the energy or see the molecules vibrating within the rock. So this time, as you're projecting the rock and seeing it in your mind's eye, see if you can project the energy of your rock, or see the energy or life force of your rock, or the molecules vibrating within your rock, and make it as real as possible for you, almost as if you could reach out and touch it in 3D space. Okay, so just wait for the timer to begin, and then I'll be back with you in 10 minutes. Okay, we're back. I hope your visualization exercise went well. I hope it didn't take you too many times to get through it. And if you had some problems or some difficulties, you can either give us a call or send us an email, and we'll be happy to help you out with some hints and tips and some pointers to maybe help you get through it easier the next time. Okay, so the next exercise, we're going to go on to concentrating on your leaf. Okay, again, like before, I want you to try and see a greater level of detail of your leaf. Look deeply into your leaf, see if you can see its life force or its energy, see if you can see its molecules vibrating, and take in as much detail regarding your leaf as possible. All right, so grab your leaf and sit back and wait for the timer to start, and then I'll be back with you in 10 minutes to end the exercise. Okay, welcome back. I hope the concentration on your leaf went well. And now we're going to move on to the next exercise, which is the visualization of your leaf. Now, I can tell you that most likely this visualization exercise is going to be a lot easier for you than the visualization of your rock, and you're probably not going to get near as many distractions or near as much monkey chatter as you did before. And the reason for that is that once you learn a skill, it becomes easier and easier to become more coordinated with it each time you do it. So most likely this time your mind's not going to throw up as many objections, and you're going to find it much easier to visualize your leaf for a longer amount of time than you probably did with your rock. Okay, so remember, you want to see your leaf in your mind's eye. Try and project it out in front of you, maybe 6 inches to a foot in front of your head, so that you can see it rotating in 3D space in front of you. And also this time, try not to just see the physical details of it. Try and project into it or see the life force or the energy of your leaf. Also, maybe try and project into it or see, the individual molecules or the little balls of energy that make up your leaf, and really see if you can try and see and project the leaf in its entirety, meaning its matter, its energy and force, and its detail, and every aspect that you can remember about your leaf. Okay, so just sit back and relax and wait for the timer, and we'll see you in 10 minutes. All right, welcome back. Well, you've been going at this for about 40 minutes now, maybe a little bit longer. And when you do these kind of exercises, your brain uses a lot of energy from the body. So what I'd like you to do now is to put the video on pause and take a little break and clear your head, clear your mind, go get some water, maybe a little snack, go to the bathroom, and then come on back and start the video, and we'll move on to the next exercise. Now we're going to move on to the next exercise, which is concentration on your flower. And like before, I want you to take in all the detail of your flower, memorize the stem and what the stem looks like, count the number of thorns and remember where they're placed on the stem, count the number of branches and remember the number of leaves on each branch, look at the bottom of the flower and see how that's structured, count the number of petals on your flower, and then take in the entire flower itself and remember all of the subtle detail of your flower. Also too, if your flower has a fragrance, I really want you to draw that in. Put it up to your nose and smell that fragrance and keep smelling that fragrance and so that you can remember that for later. And then as you did before, I want you to really look deeply into your flower and look and see if you can sense or feel the energy or the life force of your flower, and then look deeply into the flower and see and visualize the little individual molecules themselves and see them all vibrating together. Okay, so just sit back and wait for the timer and we'll see you in 10 minutes. So now we're going to do the very last exercise in this set, which is the visualization of your flower. And since you're pretty familiar with the process by now, you know that you just need to kind of see it in your mind's eye, project it out in front of you, try and recall or project as much detail as you can, and then try and project the energy that you sensed into your object, and then maybe try to look deeply or project into your object the molecules or the little balls of energy that make up that object. And of course, try to remember the fragrance of your flower and make that part of your projection as well. Okay, so just wait for the timer to begin, and we'll see you when we get back, and then I'll give you a couple hints and tips on doing this without the video. All right, well, you have now completed the level 1 concentration exercises that are going to help you develop greatly enhanced powers of mind. And although this is the first step, it is definitely the hardest step, and it only gets easier from here. Now, as with all Light Warrior skills, I do suggest keeping up on the practice of your skills, and I recommend doing at least one 10-minute concentration exercise at least 2 or 3 times a week for the first couple of months. The more complex the shape and detail and colors of your object, the better. And I know that in no time at all, you're going to master these skills of concentration, and then it's going to be time to go on to the next level. If you're practicing these concentration exercises without the video, I do recommend you getting yourself a little countdown timer or a little cooking timer like this, as you don't want to distract yourself by looking at a watch or a stopwatch or a clock or something like that. Okay, well, if you have any questions or problems or you need a little help, make sure to give us a call or send an email to info@lightwarrioracademy.com, and we'll get back with you right away. Okay, well, thanks very much. Take care. Bye-bye.